Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Glad you could join us today. This is the 15th public meeting for Testimonials, Monday, February 12th, 2018. So I hope you all brought your wonderful plasma stories to share with us today. I'm your hosts, or one of them, Flint, and we also have Danny and Elizabeth here. So welcome, everyone. Glad you can join us today.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Flint. Thank Elizabeth. And welcome, everyone. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I think we have some great testimonials here tonight. Unless, Libby, do you have anyone to start with? Or should I have a look?
No, I don't have any nobody said they have a testimonial to bring, but I hope they do. I can give one that John Wells reminded me of, and then I went back and started doing. He had taught me how to make a water restructuring system with marbles. And after I watched a woman who made one quite a few years ago, and she decided to use it several times, I decided, okay, instead of just once through the marbles, let me do it 4 or 6 times. And the structure in the water was so beautiful to watch. I can show a picture of it, of what was created, if you want, but I can't show you the beautiful bubbles that appeared. It was like, oh, look at the life within it. You can really see it's restructured. I also add CO2 because it's our drinking water for the 3 of my roommates and I. And it's just fabulous how just running it through those marbles 4 or 6 times changes the plasma of the water, if I could say. It's amazing, and as you do it, I like to thank the water and treasure it and praise it for being there, but it's like a dance unfolds. It's quite beautiful. I can show the picture. I did post it quite a while ago, so it's just been revamped by doing it several times through. And as Caroline has pointed out when I posted it originally, you just need to put the CO2 to clean the water. But the restructuring, the taste with it is fabulous. So it's such an easy solution for those of us who live in the city and drink what's called spring water, but it's questionable.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, if you have the picture at
Yep,
hand, that would be
I do,
fantastic.
actually.
I remember you posting it at some stage and looking at the marbles thinking, oh, this is so simple, so beautiful.
Can you guys see that?
Yes, thank you.
And that's all it is. You can get those at the dollar store. I think it's $2.25 for 50. And I added some sandstone pebbles. You don't see them here, but they're at the very bottom. So their final process is through sandstone pebbles. And we were happy with just going through it once, but then once I started doing it 3, 4, 5 times, it became a really sweet recognition of the water and thanking the water and having great gratitude for it. And all 3 of us have noticed how much more delicious it is. So very simple, just you can use a regular funnel if you want to, a big one, or even a cut up soda bottle. And then you just have to have another container you can put it in so you can just keep the process going at least 4 or 6 times. But you can even see the beautiful bubbles in there that were created. So, and that was just one through.
That's fantastic, Libby. You caught up on the idea.
Oh, I'm so grateful to you, John, for telling me about it, because it was a very simple solution for a group of people that have very low funds to make our drinking water much more palatable. Thank you for teaching that to me.
We're all in the same boat. I mean, I use the natural water, fountain water, for all these works, and all the water I give away to the people, and I see the results, and it's just fantastic. I also use the magnets, the ring magnets from loudspeakers, and you put the water through them, and it also makes such a difference.
Oh, great. Liv, maybe you have a picture for us either later today or another day so we can see what it is. It helps, I know, when we have pictures and we see how simple it is.
And there are some other vortex sort of way of making the water. And if you just put the water through all these different processes, you realize that the water is fantastic. It sort of recuperates its life.
Oh,
And
it does. Exactly. Sorry, John. It's like it went from static to alive. It's so different in taste, and the the water becomes clear, clear, clear. It's just amazing. Anyways, I'll stop sharing now, but the picture anyways. Thank you so much, John, for teaching me that trick.
Can I ask you, sorry, go on, John.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering, you were saying you had used tap water. Have you tried rainwater or at least too?
Natural fountain water. I've got here 200 meters away. I have my original land, and I've got 7 different fountains, which because it was a very nasty piece of land, and I sort of drained it and got to the natural fountains which produce the water. And I got a 200-meter hose pipe that brings it over to where I live. And I put it through these magnets, and well, it's just fantastic. The water is sweet and natural and full of life. So,
And did you add CO2 at some stage, or
yeah,
into the
well,
water?
after that, yes. After that, I put it into a tank. You've seen the pictures, I imagine. A blue tank of 100 liters, which I process about 70 or 80 liters of water every day and bottle it. And that's what I do.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And thanks, Libby.
Yeah.
No, you must have seen the pictures of my tank. If not, I'll just rummage.
Yeah. We've seen them at some stage. You had quite a big production there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we've seen them. Thanks.
So if you've lost your marbles, that's one way to get them back.
And joy and humor are the way forward, so thank you. I think I lost my marbles many times.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing there. Anyone else would like to continue sharing and showing their experiments and speaking about their experience?
I don't have any before or after pictures or anything, but it's one of those things I probably could have done or something. But a friend of mine was using the Gans waters for his eyes to get rid of cataracts.
Okay.
He had some.
For how long?
He started it around the first of the year. Yeah, around the first of the year, maybe Christmas time or so. And it's the 50-20-20-10 ratio that Dr. Rodrigo shared with us. Of course, he got it from Mr. Keshe. But he's been putting 4 drops of this solution in each eye twice a day. And he had pretty bad cataract growth in his right eye where it was really blurry, and a little bit in his left eye. And his left eye is totally cleared up right now, and the right eye is about 50%.
Oh. And is that the powder that comes from the Keshe Foundation, or?
No, it's actually a combination of each of the 4 Ganses. 50% CO2, 20% zinc, 20% CH3, 10% copper. And if you use those in milliliters, like 50 milliliters, 20, and 10 milliliters, that fills up a nice dropper bottle, 4-ounce dropper bottle.
Wonderful. So there are good results already, huh?
Yeah, I'll try to get him next month. He couldn't join today, but I'll try to get him next month with better results.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Thank you, Flint.
I also put the GANS water into a fine, misty spray bottle. And if you spray that on your face, your eyes, don't close your eyes, just spray it onto your eyes and your hair, and that you get a hell of a difference. It sort of revives, gives you back your life. To your hair, to your skin, to your eyes, to everything. And what we've seen with the fruits and vegetables, if you do the same with them, it sort of gives life to everything.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. I know we have Christian here who would like to share a few pictures, I believe. He's been making experiments with the water, I believe. Christian, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Christian. Thank you for coming on here. What have you got for us?
It's a bit more than a few pictures. Actually, we were asked to find a method to make plasmatic fields visible. And I remembered a method I learned some years ago. And it's about rising pictures, it's called in English. I don't know whether you know about it, so I probably have to explain the method a little bit. You use a Petri dish, and I have a picture of one, so I will screen share if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, can you see it? No, you
Yes.
Oh yes, sound is okay. Okay. Oops, not this one. It's like a normal Petri dish, but it has a rising in the middle. So we need this rim around the picture, the dish, I'm sorry. And then you put a piece of paper into it. I will have to change the picture. Like this, can you see it?
Yes.
So you have to fold it into a tube, the paper, a special paper. This, I will talk more about it later. And then the fluid you put into the rim before will grow into the picture. And after using the fluid you want to examine, you wait for a little while and then you use some silver nitrate and afterwards some iron sulfate, or I hope it's the right words, so metal salts, to make visible what happens within the paper when the fluid grows into the paper. And now I would like to show you one of the papers I made like this. Oh, this is the wrong one. Oh yeah, there it is. Just let me try. Oh yes, this one. Okay. Now you see only a little part of it. I will try to make it more visible. There you see the upper, can you see my mouse?
Yes, I can see your mouse.
Thank you. This is the upper horizon, and the silver becomes black through light after some time. And there you can see very special shapes. And they correspond to a special GANs, which I do not want to name right now because I would like to let you guess if you want to.
Well, there was a little note there on the previous picture. It said amino, zinc oxide. So I would guess.
I'm happy to tell you this is wrong. This is the amino acid. This is something I did today, but these pictures are a week old. They
Oh.
are older, so
Can I
it's
ask you,
something else.
is this now upside down, or has the water traveled all the way up to the edges of the paper, and then you have added the silver nitrate or sulfate? Or?
The fluid has traveled up from down to this line, and always I put the fluid down there in the rim we have seen earlier.
Yes, yes.
So I do not put anything up here. The last thing you put into is simply some more water when you let it rise, and then when the water and the fluid dries, it will leave the energy, the fields that is within it or behind it, will release them into the paper, so you can see them. And this is why I found a very big difference between different kinds of GANs. Now, if we take a closer look again here, you can see that there are these pillars, I don't know how to say this, this shape, and they're closed here, and they're a bit light at the top. And some seems to open again and release some fluid upwards. But they are all more or less closed under this line. And well, I think guessing is not a very good idea. Or does somebody has a feeling of one of the most used ganses, which one it could be?
It looks a bit like an X-ray from a dentist, but
Oh yes. Mm.
it's probably CO2 then, is it?
No.
No. I'll stop guessing. I'm just getting it wrong here. Somebody else help me here, please.
Well, I'm not sure which one I'm looking at, but by color, I'd say CH3 if it's the top line, but I may have missed what you were saying when I was...
The color is always this kind of color, independent of the GANs I use.
Ah, okay.
It's just where you see the color is different.
Okay. Then I'd have to go zinc, but I may be wrong.
Okay. At first, I was guessing as well, but after some time and after comparing different pictures, you start see. Oops! I hope this disappears.
You may have to reshare because it. Yep. There we go. Okay.
I have to fix something here. Am I still visible?
Yes, you are. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I had to fix something. Now I lost apps. I said you go away. It should have gone. I stopped it actually. I don't know why it
Well, it
came back.
must be copper oxide then.
Well, let's see. I think you might have it right there, sister.
I can read.
Yes.
It's clear now,
Um,
Christian, just so you know
it's
your
copper.
screen
Yeah. Is it okay again now?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. What is special is what I found out, that this is the most gravitational forces that I can see here in this picture. Now I will show you another picture with CO2 and zinc oxide. Just try to keep in mind this one. Okay. Oh, there I have it. Now, sorry. Let's look into it. Do you see differences?
shape of bottom, it's more gravitational. It's opposite of preview picture.
Why did you say it is more gravitational?
Because it this shape, formal shape, it's in the bottom, no? Previous picture, you have this little spot white in top, no?
Oh yes, yeah, and you don't have it
And
here like this, yes.
yes, it's like a frame.
Yes.
Sorry, my English is not very good. I tried.
Oh, we compare each other in this area.
Okay, you see, this notation. It's more long.
It is longer, yes.
Right?
And the
You
pictures
give it.
are a bit higher too. You cannot see it
Yeah,
now here, but this one is growing a
I
bit
remember.
higher.
Okay, you have a more closer this sphere in this picture, no? Another next picture, you have
Yes,
a little gap
yes,
here,
almost always.
uh,
Yes, this is right.
shining and more little circular shape in another picture.
Yes,
This is
this is right.
more elongate.
Oh yes, you're a good observer. Yes, actually, I think this one is more magnetical, but this is because I know the CH3 pictures, and I will show them in
Yes,
the
it's
end now.
magnetic because interaction of field with your Earth, it's stronger. Uh, one question: in when you meet paper, no, you are filtrate and you have a matter in between two GANs, amino acid and GANs. No, when you have a, let's say matter, no matter here, GANs, you use zinc oxide and another amino acid. You have one filter, plasmatic filter. You have GANs, plasma, matter, plasma. Between, you are connect this filter of paper, which is bond of C hash. You are filtrate your GANs with paper. Nano coat this paper in between two fields, amino acid and GANs. It's my observation. I don't know if you're right or not.
I have a problem understanding what you try to say. I did not filter the GANs before, but this is a kind of filter paper where it is growing now, the fluid.
You put in your GANs matter.
The GANs water, GANs liquid. I've put
Okay,
into
you
the
put
ring.
matter state. It's this piece of paper. It's in shape of matter, no? No, it's field or GANs or another.
The filter paper is matter, yes, absolutely.
Okay, you are interfere between amino acid and GANs, liquid plasma or GANs. When you meet this little paper, no piece of paper, where you have this shape, no color shape, it's possible. It's like a capacitor plasmatic. You're filtering. You are making another interaction, not liquid plasma and GANs. You put paper in the miller.
As far as I think about it, it's more like having a medium where you where
Yes,
you
change.
can.
You change structure of atmosphere, no? When you have two spheres, one here, another here, liquid plasma or amino acid and GANs. When you intervene with another field of matter or paper, you have an interaction. You change. First, it's here. After, when you have this interface, this plasma, free plasma, you move. Okay, I shut up and listened what congratulations, because you are find a modality of visualization. You see how interact two spheres with paper.
Spheres, and now I understand better what you want to say. As far as I can think of it and can see it yet, but I cannot see everything. So maybe this is a very important point. I will think about it later when I have a bit time. Now it is like the fluid gives the fields in it. It's a GANS fluid, GANS water. It gives the field over to the paper because it is a special paper that has 2-micron holes in it, and this is the same size of water drops that you have in the ionosphere around the Earth, and it's also the same size of water drops that you have when you breathe. And this is a very special size because this is the size when the water gives and takes, feels energy, information. And therefore I need this special paper. And therefore the paper makes the water, the fluid, to to show the fields. And this is what I tried to do. And here you can see, I simply try to continue because otherwise it will be very long. Here you can see pairs, much more than on the CO2 picture. And I think these pairs, they are there because I use zinc oxide and CO2 in these GANs. Also, you can always see a big hill and a small hill, a big hill, a small hill, all the time over here on the most on the horizon, on the highest horizon. And there's many more things. For example, the color, and it's also here you have more to the inside of these pillars. It becomes black. On the CO2 picture, it's more outside of them. And there's many more things you start seeing when you look for a long time. And this is why I do this picture in a very high resolution, so I can simply zoom into it and carefully really examine everything. Now I would like to show you the CH3 picture, if you like.
Yes, please.
This is a great experiment. Thank you so much, Christian, for bringing it to us.
You're very welcome. It's simply something I can add, or because I just have trouble with a window that won't move away. It's These windows are, the
I know
pictures
that.
have about 40 megabyte each.
Mm.
So it's a bit of, please remove this window, it says, and I'm trying to remove it. Can you see the picture I want you to see?
We do see one, yes, the one that you're focusing on, and there's this yellow bar
Yes,
in
and
front of it, but we can still see a picture, so
I
don't worry
try
about it.
to remove this yellow bar and it doesn't work right now.
No
It
problem.
says CH3, so that's the one you were going to show them?
Yes.
Did anyone notice the spacing?
It's much bigger with the
Yes.
CH3. Oh, no, not there. Ooh, okay.
They are always, the highest picture, it's always CH3. And here you don't see the tips of those pillars because you see the pillars even, was heißt schieben?
Pushed.
Okay, they push the line at the horizon even more up. It's always about 1.5 centimeters higher, this picture with CH3. And it's also very dark and very strong. You see all these pillars here very close to each other. And also you can always see there these beautiful, there you can see it's actually, it seems to be a 3D picture. Can you see this? What I mean?
Yes, yes. Wow.
Actually, they all are a kind of 3D. You can really see the tips coming to the front sometimes or going to the back.
Christian,
Yes.
go please to the top, above this red line. There is a shadow. If you see it in the first of the page, go left. Yes, more. Yes, here. Yes, you see the shadow here.
Yes. Actually, this is a bit of dirt. This is very old paper that I got from Mr. Hachenay, and he's not alive anymore since some years. So,
so this is her, his hand.
No, but the method is developed by him.
Okay.
He has done about 150,000 of these pictures for different kinds of materials he was researching on. And he knew that with this method, he could see the things that you couldn't measure because they depend on morphology. This is an English word.
Yeah.
And about the fields, he wasn't talking about plasma, but actually the more I know about plasma, the more I have to think of him and what he did, and that it's actually the same. He was always talking about Kräfte, which is power.
I think this method is kind of used in the laboratories for, in conjunction with the DNA.
Not that I know of.
To
I know
compare
it is
DNAs.
used to compare the quality of food. You can very clearly see a difference between organic, ecological food and industrial food.
Okay.
But this is not what I'm concentrating on here. Look, there is one pillar that looks very different. It shouldn't be like this. And when I saw it, I was examining the paper and I saw, oh, it's a bit of dirt there. So you can immediately see everything. If you do not use gloves, then you will see a picture of your DNA or something. Actually, you can see really a lot of things, or not everybody maybe, but Mr. Hachenay, where I learned this method from, he could see everything in it. So when I sent him, I made a picture of my saliva, and he looked at it just for a short moment, and then he said, "Oh, you've got 2 dead teeth." And I said, "No, I have only 1 dead teeth." Yes. And when I went to the dentist some days later, he found out that I have 2 dead teeth. So you can really see everything if you know how to examine these pictures. And the most important aspect is not the size in millimeters, but it's the relation between the shapes.
And Christian, what does the orange line now on the top represent? Because we have a question here saying, where is the CH3, the orange or the gray? And
No, it's not possible to make a statement like this. It's simply the whole picture is the quality of the CH3, of my CH3. So you can say, oh yeah, your CH3 is not very good, or maybe it's brilliant, I don't know. But you cannot say, oh, it's not, the substances are not separated in any way here. You know? There's other methods where you make pictures, crystallography, and there's other kinds of pictures you can make where you can see one of the elements that is within a substance. But this one, this kind of picture here, you can see the whole of the energy, the whole of the field. And I can tell you it's more the sulfur when it is brownish, and it is more the silver salt when it is more black. But these are only the markers, and it's not the substance itself, and not the field itself. But this is what the fields leave on my paper. Now I have one picture where I can compare all three together. Would you like to see this one?
yes, please, Christian. Thank you.
Then we can maybe stop, because otherwise it's such a...
I think, Christian, we could spend a lot of time on this. This is fascinating stuff. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're going to show us a comparison.
I would like to work a lot more with this.
Look at the boundary or the
Yes,
gap.
I know. I have to wait until it disappears. I'm sorry. Is it gone?
No,
No, not yet.
no, it's
I can see it, but I cannot remove it.
it's better. It's perfect.
Now it's gone. Wow.
Yep.
When you have a CO2 of zinc oxide, no, you have in middle this I don't know what you this gap, no, it's in middle. It
This one?
here, yes,
It's copper, yes.
it's copper. No, gap here.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's always the smallest. You can see it here. Although it's the same amount of fluid I put everywhere.
Yes.
I have a pipette, so I can quite exactly use the right amount.
In left, you have in the middle one gap. No, here. This is more. No, it's part.
Sorry.
Don't.
I will make it bigger so you can show better.
No. When make a visual, all of us, three picture, minimize.
He's trying to show the difference in the gaps
Yes.
between the three.
Yes, okay.
Thanks. Okay. You have one boundary here.
Yes.
Yes. This is.
I don't see it as a boundary, but yes, you can say so. Yes.
This is more large. This is fine.
Yes.
This is a gap. So in top of this black, I see black, is medium. This is more defined, and this is zero.
Yes.
This is,
And I think
pillar, you have in top of pillar black hole. This is in after like a frame. Okay, and this you don't have the top. It's confused with red.
I think you exchanged the left and the middle one. Look, it is this one with the white tips. And it's this one which almost touches the highest horizon, if you look at that. But
Yes.
I look more at the shapes of the pillars. But probably it's good to see everything. So I'm very thankful that you help me discovering new things, new aspects. And I'm discovering every day, every time I look at it, I see something new. For example, yesterday I suddenly understood that this is a kind of star formations. And then I looked at the CH3 star formation and I found it's the other way around. It's from the top downstairs, from the top, the downside under, or how do I have to say? Simply the other way around.
Upside down.
Upside down, yes. Thank you.
No problem.
So maybe this is, I would like to try this with tritium guns, so I can, and other magnetical and more gravitational ganses, so I can learn, I can make a database for myself to learn to make a clear difference. So I can, when I get some fluid, nobody tells anything about it, then I want to be able to say, oh, this is this GANs. And I think it is possible because the differences are so vast, so big.
You have tried of different no GANs, strain of GANs, volumetric in the one. It's very difficult for me.
You mean dilutions? In dilutions, different strengths?
Yes.
Okay.
Same GANs or same GANs or in the another strength of field. No, so
until now, all the pictures I did, I took the same GANs water because I wanted to have something to compare with. And I would like to try a lot of things like using more diluted plasma water, GANs water, and using more concentrated with more, maybe a little bit of GANs in it also. I tried this one. And also, I would like to put a nano-coated copper plate before the paper when I let it grow, and things like this. There's a lot to be research to be done.
one distance of plate, example, 10 centimeter. No, you have a strain of CO2, for example. No, 10 centimeter. Another spectroscopy, another picture, say CO2 with a gap 5 centimeter. You have
yes, I know what you mean. Yes.
In this way, you see
the different strengths and the different quality of the CO2. Yes.
Or deuterium or tritium or lead.
Yes. And I'm eager to try all this. I would like to. Do you think this is a method I should put to the testimonial page?
It's very interesting. Yes. It's.
I've made an English language paper for it, so I can put it into the student chat if you like, or I can try to put it to the testimonial page, but I don't know whether I have to ask beforehand.
No, I think you can just edit whatever testimonial or experiment you have. There's sure somebody who finds that interesting and is happy that you're sharing. And it's great that you're sharing here, Christian.
Thank you. I like to do so. I'm happy if I can add something, yes. I think this is the time to ask for questions if there are any, and then I will stop.
No questions for Christian?
Oh, this is okay.
Okay.
Because, yes, you know, maybe tomorrow some people have a question because you need to take it with you.
That's
Something
true.
like this.
Yeah, assimilate. Yeah.
It may grow.
This is a really, really great experiment. I'm so glad you brought it to us.
Thank you very much,
Mm.
Elizabeth. I still have the old name.
That's okay. Either one works.
No, the other one didn't work out well for me.
Question, sorry, can I just ask you, where you, on the left-hand side, where you've got CO2, ZNO,
Yes.
is this is 80% CO2 and 20% zinc?
I don't know.
Okay. It would be
Uh,
interesting to see, for instance, if you made a CO2 ZNO, and we knew that it was say 80% zinc, 20% CO2, because that seems to be easier to make, and compared that to like a pure zinc made just with zinc plates, to see what difference the 20% CO2 would make to
yes,
that. And
I will
also,
do.
if you had like where you've got I thought of it when you showed the CH3 one. You've got, that's the CH3, but if do you have more than one CH3 that was made with slightly different conditions, to see if that would affect the image that's produced on the paper?
Yes, I have a different one. And yes, there will be big difference in the image. And yes, I will try this one. I have pure zinc GANs. I do not have any more pure CO2 GANs, but if I compare this one, you can see here now, if I compare this one to zinc one, then I can maybe say, oh, these pillars, they have more zinc quality. Actually, I think it is those that represent the zinc, but this is just what I think. I'm not sure about it. I have to test and check this.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing your results in either as testimonies or private class, maybe.
Yes, I would like to let everybody see his scans, his plasmatic fields, actually. Okay, thank you for listening, and that's it.
Christian.
Oh, yes.
Here. Is this
Yes.
what Mr. Keshe mentioned a couple of days ago?
I don't know. I didn't talk to him about this.
No,
But,
we mentioned
but
he spoke to somebody and they were also developing something like this.
I don't know. Either maybe somebody has told him because I presented this in German teaching already, but I'm not sure.
No, sorry, John. Sorry, Christian. John, I think he was referring to somebody else.
Yeah, that's the idea I have. That's why I wanted to ask Christian about it.
Yeah.
We will see. The more methods, the better the results.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Christian. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hear more and to see more. Well done.
Yes, I would like to do this.
Thank you. Yes, I had the feeling it could be very interesting tonight, so I'm looking forward to the next person who would like to share experiments or experiences. Doesn't matter what area. As we've seen, there's a lot to learn and to share. So if you have anything for us, please feel free to open your microphone and speak.
I'm Dan Bulish, Dan Constantin from Romania. I have make I'm not sure, no no gain. I say GANs, but it's I make these GANs of with current, no, with charger of my telephone,
Yes.
and I think it's oxide of this kind. In one reactor, I met copper nanoplate, okay, and another iron near. My first extraction, it's kind of brown orange. In second, I have zinc. I make in this water plasma of copper nano and iron. I met zinc, copper nano and zinc. I start CO2 in this reactor. My first, how to say, my first collection of, say, guns. It's floppy. I don't know. I open my camera.
Yes, please.
Okay,
I'll stop share.
I
Are you
share.
ready? I'll just stop share if you are.
Okay. No. Share video. You can start your cover because the host has stopped.
No, go ahead. It should go, but let's see if I have to do something to your.
Okay, my Zoom. I have the picture on my Facebook, but I try to share my camera.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Okay, let's see. Let me light this kind of guns oxide, because I don't know if when you method three volts and I don't know 200 milliamps. No color. I change. Okay, I don't know when you see it's floppy, but it's another color. See, and another. This is second. It's copper nano, zinc, plate of zinc. It's floppy like a CO2 or zinc oxide, but it's more green. Yellow, green. It's another thing with the current. I don't know when the reactor of CO it's more copper nanoplate and zinc chicken mesh, right? This is no, I don't have the zinc inside. Okay, no, it's very difficult for me explain how make this thing. When you use one reactor for CO2, you use this reactor and not for other organs, because I mixed the water plasma on one gas I change condition, no? I met.
I'm just going to interrupt you. Are you trying to show more pictures, or you're more, because I can bring the screenshot back on if you finish sharing.
Okay.
But
I finish.
okay, thank you. Sorry.
Okay. If you want, I made this picture of my Facebook. Have you heard?
Are we able to do that, Danny? Do you know, or is that contravene rules?
No, I share my screen.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, but if it's your own picture, is that picture you took? Yeah.
Okay.
Did you make that picture? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I open just a moment. Okay. Photo. I'm sorry. It's on my reactor. Okay. Now sharing. Share my screen. This is the reactor of copper plate and iron. This is, and next, how to make, okay. Here, I have two spheres, one in top and another sediment in the bottom. Next.
Okay, so one is floating on the
plate.
top and one is on the bottom, yeah?
Yes, I see interact of this field. In top, no spiral. It's like I don't know, this amino acid. After one day in this reactor, in the bottom it's a kind of blue, black, blue. The gas and floppy green, no green, brown in top. Two layer here. Okay, cool. There's copper, nano, and iron near. When the two fields, this is gas sediment in first picture. This is gas in top in first battle here. This is this.
So you separated it, yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yes, and look the field of in top of this picture. This kind is this photo in top. You see, make me annotate. Okay, this how to field strain from periphery for center. Okay, here. Okay, next. Oops, I'm sorry. Here. Okay, and this picture of you see mutation of fields.
Yes.
in top, and but I have the gap liquid plasma here. Okay, next. What? This floppy. This is when you change your condition in reactor. I have another things. First, I have a copper nano and iron. I took the nears and met the zinc plate of battery and result this kind gray, no green, brown in first selection, and in second like CO2, feel more fluffy. I don't know. I don't know how explain what gas is, and I don't know how to take the example of Christian, no, for picture in paper. I don't have a method of hard to say. It's very hard to remember when you don't learn English, but I try. Okay, this is it. No more for now. Thanks.
Thank you very, very much. And I think your English is great. I'm sure as the more you join us, the better it will get. So thank you for making the effort. It was quite comprehensible. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything or questions for? Is it Badis or Constantine? Your first name Constantine, or is
Dan Constantine, it's my
family
name.
Oh.
My name of family is Alice.
Ah, which would you prefer us to call you? Dan?
Yes.
Dan, okay.
Is not important.
Okay.
This one though.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay. And does anybody else have anything that they would like to share? Thank you again, Don Constantine. I want to remind everybody that any testimonial, any experience you've had using the plasma technology, making GANs, doing whatever it is that you've done is always welcome. We learn from your sharings. So please feel free to share with us.
Well, Libby, if nobody has anything for the moment, then I have something from another student, and she doesn't have the time to come on today herself, but she sent me some pictures and she allowed me to show them.
Great, I'll stop sharing.
Thank you. And those are pictures of a health unit that she created herself. And can you see it?
Yes, we can.
This is a wooden construction. It looks a bit like a spaceship. So 2 wooden rings, and she can move them in 2 different directions. And onto those wooden rings, she has mounted tubes, double tubes. So there's one tube containing zinc oxide, if I remember correctly, and the other one's CO2. And so she can adjust the position of the fields. And she was saying that at this stage, she is not sitting in it anymore because the fields are so strong. And if she's sitting in between those rings, then she can feel a kind of a vibration and a tingling on the skin. And she also made a breathing device from these Coca-Cola bottles, but she's not using it as a breathing device, but she just lets the air come into the room. So there's a constant supply of plasmatic air in her room, in her whole apartment. And she's used a little pump that pumps the air into the bottle, and on the other side comes out the air from the tube into the room. And here's again, here again pictures of the construction of her health unit.
Danny, do you know if those tubes are, is there Gans water in there, or is it just Gans in there?
I can't say for sure. I think she said Gans water. But I can't say for sure.
And I know who this is too, and I believe it's actually air that she puts through there, is the way I understood it when she was telling me. It's actually,
she's putting air as well, yes.
That those bottles that are at the bottom that you showed were part of the way to feed the air into those tubes so that she could change it, whichever ganses might be needed, is how I understood it. But hopefully we'll get her on here.
On those rings.
Exactly.
All right, that's a good idea.
Yes. Thank you, Louis.
It's bubble. It's air in tube. It's a dynamic of pump of air.
Yes.
Circulating this ring, this tube. Okay,
yes.
From the bottle, of Coca-Cola with zinc.
Yes, that could be.
I'm pretty sure that's what she said.
Yeah.
And that she was using a very good fish tank aerator, I believe.
Yes, one of these fish tank pumps, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was that little black thing. Sorry, yeah, you were saying?
You have one tube with area of zinc oxide or CO2, and another tube. This is inside, no? And another tube, pure large. Show me another picture. Yes, you have this tube here, right? Wait. Annotate. Okay, you have this tube of Coca-Cola bottle with air, or this is plasmatic water and circulating in second tube. What it is? It's plasma water or it's empty?
I think she said there was plasma water in it. Let's see if I have
because
another.
You see, I have these two, no? It's circulate, it's dynamic. And no, it's easy to see, but I don't understand what it in one tube circulate air or liquid plasma, and you in second tube. What is it? Maybe next time clarify this.
She did give me another picture, so maybe, and she has a little drawing on it. Maybe that makes it a bit clearer. I'll just share it with you. And maybe that brings more light into it. That's actually her drawing, where she says she has the zinc oxide tube inside and the copper oxide outside. But we probably have to wait for her to speak about it. It's just that she couldn't come tonight.
Inside it's dynamic, in CO2 out it's static.
I can't give you more information on that, because you see, I understood that there's tube in tube, and Libby understood that there's also air going through it, which makes sense now. So we probably have to wait for her to present it to us next time. But I think it is a beautiful health unit, and the way she was explaining it, that she was having these vibrations and this tingling on the skin up to a stage where she then has to get out of it. And at the moment she wouldn't even sit inside it, just have it sitting there and let it run, and she can feel the feels. And I thought that was very interesting.
When Mr. Keshe rotate the gravitational ring in the inner ring, say if you make bigger, large, and you put in the middle, no, you are in the center. What's happened? No, because this unit of health, it's a bigger, how to say, fingers in the middle.
I mean, stronger feels.
Like a starship. Yes, you are in center.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's.
Perhaps this field it's increase bigger, bigger. You don't need staying in the middle of the rings.
Oh yes, you mean like over time the fields are increasing, so that one does not have to sit inside or stand inside. Yes, I agree. Thank you for your input, Dan.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Anybody else would like to share their experiences, experiments in whatever direction they have found something out or felt something or experienced something? You're free to share with us, please.
I'm going to just get my computer set up on the other side of the room. I've built a box to nano coat, but also drain the plates, so you don't need to take the plates out for draining. And it seems to be working. I need to get out of bed and show you though. Give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Thank you, that'd be great. Anybody else want to share while we wait for Dimitri?
I thought Jalal wanted to share something, but I don't see him here anymore. Maybe he had something else to do there.
Does anybody have any questions they might want to ask, or that's what we're here for. Share and learn.
reaction on reactor of CO2, starting with current, and after a few hours, I took I unplug.
A minute, I'm just going to go and get another bulb to put in this bedroom so it's much brighter in here. I'm going to rip one out of my lab.
Sorry, Dan Constantine, you got interrupted there. Did you want to finish what you were saying?
Say it's 1 year ago when I started my first reactor of CO2. It's a little video. If you can share this, okay. Share the screen. Share. Okay. This is it. This is first. My connection of internet is a little. This is the reactor. Okay. Perhaps it's better sharing with the sound or not.
It depends. Is there music or just the sound of your experiment?
No, no.
Then go ahead, but you know what to do that? You have to reshare and click on computer sound on the bottom left.
I have why don't start? We try to starting. It not work. This I reshare.
And Danny suggests the video needs to be open first before you share the screen.
Okay, everyone's still there?
You are, but we've got somebody else showing right now. Can you hold on for a second? Sorry. Dimitri, did you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Go ahead.
There's somebody else showing
Go
right
ahead,
now.
Dimitri. I wait.
Sorry.
Danny.
Okay, so you're back up on top there, Dimitri.
I wait, Dimitri. Okay.
Okay, we both.
Go ahead, Dimitri.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, cool, thank you. Let me just share screen. Camera. Optimize. Okay. So it's in the hanging, and what I've done, I'll tell you what, I'll just this once, I'll pop it open so you can see it. Here we go. That way. So I've drilled holes in there, and I've attached, if you want to call them D-rings, and then to one D-ring, I've brought that out of the top of the box. So this one, I have to go this side. So this one here, this is the ring that comes out at the top here, and on the other side, I've got a one that goes in, but that joins to the bottom of the plate. So you can create the direction of the flow. And black lead going on the bottom. and the red on the top. I get a different reading from each plate, but the consistency. Could you bring in that closer? The consistency of them. Let me bring it over here. Hold on. Okay, let's get this around the right way. Okay, so red is going to go on the top, and black is going to go on the bottom. Just double check I got that right, yeah. And then if I go to put it onto 200 millivolts, okay, so this one is, I don't know if you can see that, you can see it fine. So that's really the minus number at the moment of 5.8. This number, when there's a small minus number on there, the variation is quite slow, but eventually it will move, go closer to zero. The reason I didn't want to open the box is because I'll be letting out all of the caustic environment, you know, every time you open it, and I didn't want to have things go into the box. You know, I wanted to keep the environment as pure as possible, and I've used the steaming method previously the first time, and you know, I've made GANs and stuff, but we know that that's not the way to do it. And I mean, that was going back to the start of last year. This has been nano coating for it's been in the box for about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks or so. Prior to that, I soaked the plates in a caustic solution for probably about a month. I was actually waiting for some potassium hydroxide, which my beautiful mum bought me. And so they were soaking for a long time, and they had already, the nano coating had already started to form while they were submerged. And then within a week of being in here, they were just solid jet black. Even after several months of doing the steam coating previously, the finished coating off of that steam coating, and I was steam coating them every day. Every day I was putting hot water in there for like 2 months, 2.5 months. The coating on these, after a week of being in this hot box and not a steam box, bearing in mind that they were soaked for a month, is well surpassed what was created by the steam coating. You know, I have to put it into test when I actually make the GANs, but you know, just from a visual representation, it is the coating itself it just looks more consistent across the plates. You know, it's a much darker black. This is super jet black when compared to the other ones. So as you can see, the reading is going down, but technically it's going up because it's a minus number, and it's it's getting smaller. So even though there's a negative charge coming off of this plate, the charge itself, the plasmatic energy, is being drained from that plate, and because it's attached from one corner to the other, there's a flow of energy created by the multimeter. So the plates are being drained, and there's no need to even touch the plates because they're just hanging there, and you can just attach the probes on the outside. I did think about using nano-coated wire, but then I chose not to because I'm going to build another one. I think that if I had used nano-coating wire, the reading would not be a consistent movement, because the plasma would just move straight through the nano-coating, and it would make the voltmeter just move up and down like it does when you put it on the edge of a plate. But with just having bare copper and it going in there, obviously the wires that are going in, they get nano-coated by the caustic environment. So it's easy for the plasma that has been collected on the nano coating on the plate, it's easy for that to flow up to the wire because the wires inside are already nano coated. So but as soon as it hits the copper, I may be wrong in saying this, but as soon as it hits the copper, it's turning from a plasma. It's turning from like a plasma field. As soon as it hits the copper and the electrodes, it's becoming mass. It's turning into electricity. I might be wrong about that. I'm not too sure. But it's, you can see the numbers moving, and it will get to a point where it will stop. Now, that stopping is basically you have drained as much of the plasma as you're going to, because we know that you're never going to drain the plates fully. You could leave them on there for days and days and they never change. They never drain. I'm just going to change it so we get another number and you can see the difference. So this was the second plate, and when we started that one, I think it was like -3 something. So go to 200 millivolts. We've got a positive number, it's a 42, and it will possibly, as it's done there, it will go up slightly, but then it will start going down. And normally what I do, just to make sure I've drained the plates as much as possible, for each plate, I will just put a timer on my phone and just leave that plate draining for 15 minutes. I've heard that, you should do it for 5 to 10 minutes. I've chosen to do it for 15. From this one where it's a positive number, you can see that the voltage between the two electrodes is decreasing. So therefore the charge on the plate must be being drained, and it's getting smaller and smaller. This, where it is at 35 point whatever now, that, in the space of 15 minutes, that would probably reduce down to the early 20s, I would have thought. And then it would just bounce around just very, very slightly by 0.1 if you leave it after 15 minutes, where the plate has been drained to the level that you can drain it from. But as it builds up more charge, that decimal place, that will fluctuate as it builds up and it gets drained, and it builds up and it gets drained. So it's a way that I thought of maybe we can nano-coat plates, but keep the external environment to a minimum as possible. So your nano-coating is not affected. You don't have to pick your plates up or anything like that, and you're able to drain them. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm sure many people can give their experiences on the difference between the ganses that have been made between plates that have been used just with a plate that's been used drained, and the nano coating has been made directional, compared to plates where there's been no direction put on the plate. You know, I would have thought, you know, people have probably got quite a lot to share on that. And so this is it basically. The next one I'm going to make, I can't afford a glue gun at the moment, but when I can, it would be a lot easier than putting lots of masking tape on there. And I think with the next one I do, I'm going to use the nano coated little wires that I've got, just to see if my theory is correct, that when the electrodes are attached to my electrodes coming out the box, that because the plasma can flow freely up the nano coating, that number is not going to be a consistent drop or increase. It's going to be fluctuating all over the place because the plasma is coming straight to the electrodes. Because, you know, from my understanding, it has to turn from plasma to mass as soon as there's no nano coating. So that electricity is mass, and that's what's being measured. Any questions? Okay, I can get back in bed.
I don't see any questions here in the chat. Thank you, Dimitri.
Yes, thank you. Sandor, I see you in here. Do you have anything to add to this that you might want to?
No, I'm trying to grasp what was explained before.
Okay.
I have nothing to add.
Okay, thank you, Sandor.
I just joined in the middle, so I didn't see it from the beginning. We have been in another meeting before.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize you weren't here all the time.
Hello, Andreas here. Thanks, Dimitri, for motivating me. I'm very tired, and I made something similar to you. And I made it after 1 month to collect a few pics, and I can show them to you if you want.
Could you hold on 1 second, Andreas, because we have someone who's had her hand up for quite a while. I just want to make sure. And then no problem. Then, of course, we'd like to see what you have. Barbara, did you have a question or a statement or something you wanted to share with us?
I was just in contact with Barbara. I think she is trying to figure out the buttons.
Okay.
It's not easy in the beginning, I know.
Okay.
So,
well, we can unmute her.
Yeah, I was suggesting that. I think we should do that, yes. If you don't mind, let's see if she has something she'd like to share.
So it's now, your microphone's now open, Barbara. See if you can speak and we can hear you. Right now we can't hear you.
Barbara, kannst du uns hören? Dein Mikrofon ist jetzt offen. No, I don't think it's working for her at the moment.
Okay, then we'll move over to Andreas, unless I'm hearing somebody come in, maybe. Is that you, Barbara? No. Okay, Andreas?
No, she says it's still not working for her. Still the buttons are showing red, so
okay.
Maybe there's some...
Yeah, she may have to go into Zoom and fix her, her settings. Okay, then I'll bring it back to you, Andreas, because you did have something you wanted to share.
All right. Can you see my picture?
Yes, we can.
I made these paint pens. Right now it's automatically. Wait a second. So now. I made the same for the Magraph coils. I made it with a workshop team here in Austria at their place, and then I make a few innovations. You will, I have only this picture from the Magraph coils, but this is for health bands. And I wanted to wait at the first time that I have ideas what to make with the health bands. I want to make something for my feet and my injuries. And but Dimitri motivated me very much to make it today and not tomorrow. Here, for example, the minus comes out, and here the plus goes in, and I made the wood outside, and here with the not nails, the things which you give in the wood, I don't know the English name, then you can
Screws. Screws? Do you
yeah,
twist them? Screws.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and then you can push the copper wire back so that it has a strong, that is strong, that it does not goes to the bottom. You know what I mean? When a lot of weight is up on
Tight.
that.
Tight?
Tight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my thing at this time was, I thought about selling health bands too, but of course I want to make experiments, and then from the Christmas away, I had problems with my son, or he wanted to live at my place, and that I hadn't had the head for making something. And Mr. Keshe said something about if you build up like companies, then you have to hold your soul field strength. And yeah, and in January I make other things too, like this style, and yeah, and I understood what he mean, because I had a bad mood at this time, and it's still standing here, and I haven't done nothing. I just watch all the time the teachings. Yeah, and then my question, maybe Sandor knows that, or somebody, when the current goes in there, it goes the shortest way. So it means it goes here at the first paint pan and then back outside, or the other direction. And I was asking myself if the paint pans in the back got the current to the millivolts. And then I made a ice test, and the ice test was positive. You see the frozen fields here, and here, I just, you want to say something?
Oh, I
Yes,
just said,
sorry.
yes, we do see them. Go ahead, Dan.
Sorry, Andreas. I was wondering, for those who don't know the ice test, would you be able to just quickly go over it and tell us how you did it?
Yes, I had a plastic box where I gave water in it, and at the side of the plastic box I had the paint pan here, which was directed on the ice box, and I gave it into the fridge, or in the freezer, and yeah, after one day it looks like that, if everything is frozen. And I look if I have the other picture of the paint pans here. Yeah, I had two other paint pans. One was made with the fire method, and I have not the right gas burner, so that field was not that strong like this from these ones. Yeah, and the test was positive, so it means for me that every one of these health bands gets the current through it. Yeah, and here is something. I make a lot of different things at the same time. Here are the health bands, but I have made conductors too for the magraphs, or the coils for the magraphs. And yeah, the color is black, and I think it works. I have tested it with 24 hours current for giving the nano layering the right direction or position. And I have tried it with every 6 hours, 1 or 2 weeks long. And yeah, I cannot say what is better or not. I've just tried it. I still have not finished my magraphs. I do a few at the same time, but yeah, the time. And yeah, here I make food guns with coffee, lemon, bread, and other things. And I know Mr. Keshe said that it's not good to make everything in one room, every Ganses. I make it like that because I'm sitting in the room and I think to myself, I feel not alone and the Ganses are not alone. So it feels better for me, but I don't know what is better. Here I have a spray can, or I have 3 from it, and most of the times I don't wash my hair with shampoo since, I don't know, half a year. And every time after taking a shower, I take the CO2 GANS water and give it on my hair. And yeah, they look okay, I think. And here I made plastic boxes for CO2 GANs or for other GANSes to have that for the garden of my parents, for example. It was important for me that the water tube where the water comes out is not at the bottom from the box, because then the GANS which is in it would come out too. And I just want to use the GANS water, so I made it 12 or 14 centimeters up there. Yes, because now I make here iron guns. Here I made iron guns with glued iron. And then you get the magnetical iron, the black iron, which is, I think, good for, that was random that happens because I bought that glued iron in a market, and I thought it will be normal CH3 GANs, but then it was black and orange a little bit. And now I do a lot of Ganses. That's an older picture, but yes, I want to try the GANs in the garden, and I want to try a lot of things, and that's why I had these ideas of making it like in factories. But of course, I had the idea too to sell a few things to finance my own works, and that have a lot of guys have that idea. But I haven't sold something till today, and I don't want to do that. I have not much money, and every month I'm waiting for the next unemployment money. But I know if I come in this, I don't want the money trap, because if you start selling or on Facebook, I still don't have a Facebook account, the intention gets other, you don't have the right field strength for healing somebody. For example, I gave my parents or other relatives a CH2 badge, and they're trying different things with eye drops from my mother. He has the green cataract, and the doctor said she will get blind. And I give that not and say, hey, give me, I don't know, 20 euros or something like that, or to strangers too, which come to my parents, and I hear when they tell my parents, yeah, they are ill. Try that, and they every time ask me, and I tell them about the Keshe Foundation and a little bit how it works. And then they ask me how much money I want to have, and I say every time, hey, test it, take it with you, and when it helps you, you can give me what you want. And this feels much better as if you want to sell something for money, because then the intention is money and not healing. And when I have the intention of healing, it's not only giving somebody the CO2 patch, it's having the attention for this person, to speak with him, to listen to him and his pain or his diseases. And that is one thing of the important thing of the healing process too. Yes,
Thank you, Andreas. I was going to ask you that question now, but you have pretty much answered it by explaining why you're doing it. Because I was going to ask you, and I've asked a few people, why are you doing that, and what is your aim, what is your goal? Why are you doing all that? Why are you using the ganses? Why are you producing it? But you've pretty much answered it already, haven't you?
Yeah, that was important to me to give this answer, especially with the money, because I know it's everywhere in the whole world, and the most people have not much money, and then they think, yeah, okay, I make something good and that helps people, and then they want to make money out of it, and that could be a dangerous trap, because if you want to sell something, it's different as if you want to heal somebody. Yeah, that was important for me. So the love, from me, it's not every time love. It's just sometimes we fight, but we made it with my parents, for example, but we made it better and better. And the most important thing is the soul thing. You don't need, for example, to give a CO2 patch. If you have love and if you have the positive intention, it's a very important part of healing somebody or helping somebody to heal. Yes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, wonderful. Thank you for showing your little lab and your experiments, and also thank you to Dimitri. Do we have anyone else who would like to share their experiments or their experiences? Yes? Hello?
Yes.
Is this Barbara now? Can we hear you?
Yes. Can you
Hello,
hear me now?
Barbara. Yes, Barbara. Now it worked.
Okay.
How are
Okay. Yeah, hello. It's my first time. It's a little bit exciting. But anyhow, a question before. If I want to show you one of my photos, do I need the video for that or not? The video button?
Can I ask you, Barbara, what are you going to show us?
I want to show you a photo from my box with the guns I made. And okay, it's the first time I made guns, and I used the Keshe Foundation box for CO2 guns, and and I was really surprised that I got a blue gun and not a white one. And it's really amazing how it could happen.
Yes.
So the only technical reason for that, for me, it could be that the the nano-coated copper plate and the zinc plate, they were each on one side, and they were staying on the bottom of the box. But I don't know if that could be the reason that is CU guns coming out.
Barbara, if your picture is open already,
yes,
then
I have to go only to the other part, to the photo department.
yes, once you have opened your picture, you come back here and then you click onto share screen or Bildschirm teilen.
But is it Inhalt teilen? I didn't
Bildschirm
find
teilen,
any.
yeah. It's a grüner Knopf, a green button usually, but you're on an iPad, is it?
Ja, es gibt hier nur Inhalt teilen. Ist es dasselbe? Neben dem Teilnehmer-Chat-Zeichen und dem Videozeichen
Das
dazwischen?
weiß ich leider nicht, aber wenn dein Bild schon offen ist.
Okay, ich versuch's mal eben.
You can try.
It doesn't work. Den Chat ausmachen. Okay, aha. Dann Fotos, iCloud, Bob. Okay, Fotos. Okay. So, Moment, jetzt muss ich aber schnell.
Libby, does that remind you of something? We've all started like that, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. We're right there with you, Barbara. Don't worry. Sometimes I still have.
Yeah, can I send three or put 3 or 4 pictures in the same time, or only one?
I think it depends on how they're put together, but I think it's only one at a time.
Okay, I can mark as much I want, so I put them all. We will see how much you can see. Okay. This is a. Did you see? Can you see?
Yes, perfect. We see a box with 2 nano-coated plates in it. Is that,
no,
or one is nano-coated and one is
only the left one. It's a copper plate. This is nano-coated, and the right one is the zinc plate. It's not nano-coated. And I used salty water, about I don't know, between about 7% maybe. This is and without any electricity. So it's only with the LED in the middle. Maybe that's, yeah. This is the copper plate. The water is already low a bit, and I didn't fill it up. And that's a zinc plate. It looks like salt, or is
Barbara, this is your lucky day. We have an expert here with us, and if he is free, he might be able to give you a hint.
And in this picture, we can see what is swimming on top.
Yes, you can see your aminos. Chandra, would you be able to answer that question?
Which is the question, please?
The question is, why is the water turning blue?
The guns on the bottom, I collected already. The guns, which is really blue like COO guns.
It's contaminated with copper. You see that green thing on the copper plate, yes? It appears above the salt. Another thing, I see your plates are reaching the bottom. Is it so?
You what?
The plates are reaching the bottom of the plastic box. Is it so?
Correct. Yes, that's
so. In that case, you already cause a change of conditions, because when you get the first gas created, in that case, the condition between the plates will be not any more salt water, but it will be, at least on the bottom, it will be a connection through gas. So it totally changes the condition of the container, and it will not work as you expected. So usually when you make a gas kit for capturing CO2 gas or whatever gas, always leave about 1-2 centimeters free space between the bottom of the container and the bottom of the plates.
Yeah. And what kind of guns I do have now?
unknown GANs. It's something contaminated with copper oxides. That gives the blue color or green color.
And so what does it mean? What does it do?
It's unknown, it's a different kind of GANs. I'd recommend to go back to Knowledge Seekers Workshop number 190, where Mr. Keshe explained very much what happens. You make a GANs, you make another GANs in the same room and another one. And there is a lot of interaction between all the plates which you have in different vessels, and you change the positions, and already you produce something else. And in the Knowledge Seekers number 190,
119. Is it
190, September 21st.
Okay.
It's from 1 hour and 32 minutes and 20 seconds. So there, Mr. Keshe explains the method how to make a fine-tuned, clean GANs for a specific purpose. By putting in a controlled medium where you have certain fields around the place where you produce the GANs for your purpose.
Excuse me, I didn't get the time. 1 hour?
I send a link with the timing in the chat. If you can look in the Zoom webinar chat.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
There is the link. You just click on it, you open it, and then you save it, or you bookmark it.
Ah, yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So there's a lot of information outside. Just we have to have enough time, attention span to watch all and to listen, to understand, to apply, and to learn from our replication or non-replication about the. We do some experiments and we get some results. Sometimes the results are the expected results. Sometimes are not the expected results. In both cases, we learn.
See.
Either we learn that we confirmed, okay, this is a good method, or if the result is something different, so we start thinking, so what went wrong, so what we did in different way. For instance, I see you use crocodile clips.
Yes.
So do you know what it does?
But there was it was in the box. I used only the.
Yes, I know. It's in the box because it's a nice item. You have a copper plate. Sorry for I'm using this green. It's not very visible, but I have to use something distinct from the background, which is black. So let's say the metal copper is this orange inside, and the green outside is the nano layer. So now when you attach a crocodile clips, those tools of the crocodile clips will bite into the metal copper. So anymore you have no contact to the nano layer, which is the purpose, but you contact directly into the copper. So there is an easy solution for that. You can use crocodile clips, of course, but do it in this way. You have a plate, then you bend above the plate a small copper foil, a thinner copper foil. You bend it and you put it over it. And then you put the crocodile clip over that. So now you can put the crocodile clip here, it will not bite into the copper.
Does that have to be nano-coated, that copper foil, Chandra, or?
Not necessary. You just have to increase the surface of making a contact. The crocodile clip is not nano-coated as well. But the teeth will crush the layers, the nano layers, and will make a direct contact to the metal which is inside. And that's not the purpose. You have to contact the outer layer only.
But
personally, I don't like.
You say, excuse me, but you said the blue one which you draw. this is, it could be just copper. So it's the same. If
Yes.
if the crocodile clip get contact to the blue copper or to the scratched inside the
Yes, but
other
that
plate.
little piece of copper will not allow the teeth to penetrate into the layers. It will be like a pillow in between.
See. So, but what is then the problem? Because if the crocodile teeth scratch the copper above the in the nano-coated plate or in the copper of the blue one.
Just a second, let me show you something. If I may start my video. Can you stop the screen sharing for a second, please? For a half minute.
Barbara, kannst du deinen Bildschirm wieder stoppen? Das Teilen bitte.
Wie geht das? Achso, da oben.
Okay, thank you. So I got the screen. So look, this is your plate, and you have a crocodile clip. I have no crocodile clip. I have such kind of clip here.
Moment,
so this when it connects here, it's crushing into the layer. It's not good. So to prevent that, you take a foil, a metal foil, for instance, a piece of copper foil or whatever metal foil. You put it here. You bend it above. You don't see anything?
Just a second there. If you click on, you should be able to see all the pictures of all participants. If you click on Shandor's picture now, then you're able to see the full screen.
There you go.
The host can pin the video, for instance, or to put it in focus. So if this is your nano-coated plate, when you put the clips, that will bite into the layers and it will crush and it will contact directly to the metal. And you can prevent it by putting a plate of metal, for instance, copper foil, you bend it over it, and then you put gently the crocodile clip. So this already makes a pillow in between.
Yes, I understand that.
I don't like those crocodile clips for working in nanotechnology. Nano layers are very sensitive. You don't touch them, crush them. So there is another way to make a contact by, if you have seen those paper clips. I don't have paper clips either. But a paper clip is something like, you know, this paper clip.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can bend the end of a wire a couple of times like this, and you can clip it directly to carefully to the nano-coated plate, and it has no teeth like the crocodile clip, so it would be much easier.
Could you also use the hole that she has in the nano-coated plate and just put a copper wire through and then attach it to the copper wire?
So many ways.
Yeah.
I'm doing something. Just a second.
But maybe I didn't understand right what it means if the copper plate and the zinc plate connect on the bottom of the plastic bottle.
So
what makes a difference?
Let me draw something. Let me choose a color here. Let's use the black. You have your box. It has no top here. This is case A and this is case B. You have here your plate. Normally it should be in a way to keep here a free space.
Yes.
So these are connected via the diode. And you have the water here. So you created a condition by the fields which are coming from your nano-coated plate, and that's filtered by the fields from the zinc plate. So you created a certain condition which attracts the carbon. It's like a magnet for carbon.
Mm-hmm.
And the carbon gets attracted, it combines with the oxygen which is in the water. So you have some dissolved oxygen in the water, and carbon plus oxygen creates a CO2, and this deposits here at the bottom. So now if you have the plates reaching the bottom of the plate, the situation is quite different. Because you have a certain condition here in between. You have nano-coated copper, you have the zinc, you have the salt water in between, you have the fields, and suddenly in between the fields you put there the CO2 gas which was collected. So that CO2 gas makes a bridge in between, so it makes a different kind of energy transfer. And you cannot release the same fields outside. It's like making a short circuit. So you have a different kind of field transfer between the plates when the gas already is in contact with both of them.
Barbara, it might get clearer if you follow the link that Shando had put in the chat and have a look at that teaching. So sometimes it gets clearer as we look through it.
Yeah, no, sometimes we get gas as we expected, and sometimes we get something which reaches a different color. I don't have it now here. But it may happen that you want to make something and it comes something green or blue or whatever, and it's an unknown gas, so you don't know its properties. But being in interaction with many other fields which are nearby, so there are different conditions, and it may not be that CO2 zinc, CO2 gas or zinc gas which you expect.
But then there have never been, in the beginning, never been CO2 guns. See, always it was from the beginning blue.
Yes. It happened to me too in certain combinations. It happened to me once. I was very happy at the beginnings that I made such a beautiful, a lot of gas which was falling like snow. In seconds it started, made a lot. But later I realized that was a lot of calcium because I used tap water instead of using distilled water. And you see, we learned from the Ghana experiments for cleaning the water, if you have a CO2 gas in the water and you put you put gas into a contaminated water which has a lot of dissolved solids and salts and other metals. In that case, the gas will help to precipitate everything which is not water. So it will settle down, for instance, the dissolved calcium or the dissolved magnesium or arsenic or whatever. So what I made there, I created a condition to create a little CO2 gas, and when the CO2 gas was formed, it started to clean out the water to precipitate all the calcium, all the limestone, the lime which was in the water. Being a hard water, a tap water, it had a lot of calcium. So what it was produced there, it was mainly calcium gas and not the expected CO2. We experiment, it's fine, we learn from what we did.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry, it's part of learning that we have more success or less success in our actions. That actions which brought the success, that we will repeat. Which brought no success, we will not repeat. And it's also part of the learning.
But anyhow, the cat, our cat, one day she seemed that she maybe get an accident with a car or anything in the street. she was very strange behaving, or even didn't behave. She was like she's about to die. And I made before one bracelet with tube, with a plastic tube. I had it already with this filled with that guns, and I just laid on her because I don't know how to put it otherwise. So, and when I came back after some hours, she moved away. The bracelet was laying there, and then she was almost okay. And I put it once again on her, and then next day she was completely well. It's nothing. So it may have a good effect.
And that is very important.
See.
The end result.
And one thing it happened because I was so excited by doing it the first time, and I had no idea how to put the metal plates a little bit above, because I didn't know what to use to put under it to not disturb the water. And for all this exciting, I forgot to put any what do you call it, Absicht, any intention with it when I was preparing. And this I remembered later. And maybe the first day or the second day, I just put then the intention that I would like to have a guns, which is very useful for us now. So, and for this, it was quite a good guns.
Very good. That's the main part of it.
Yes,
you see, every emotion, every intention also creates a field around. So our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions create fields which propagate. And you can feel the emotions of people.
Yes.
Sometimes you are close to somebody and you want to get closer and closer because you feel a nice, good emotion. And there are some others that you get a shiver on your skin and you want to go further because of the emotions which are radiated by that man. And I understand when you make a nanomaterial, such a nano layers, just when you make the nano coating, the nano layers have a lot of gaps and holes inside, such kind of little pockets, which can hold different fields. So when you make a nano coating with purpose to help somebody who you love because the other person suffers and you want to make to not suffer and to feel good and to get healthy, in that case you will have the fields of love and unconditional help within that layer. So it's no wonder it helps immediately. We just had a case of a young man from Romania who just learned from a couple of posts from the Facebook how to make zinc oxide GANs and the CO2 GANs, and he made some GANs. He wanted to help his father, and his father finally could sleep all night and recover from a very bad bladder problem which he was suffering for 3 years. It was very effective. In the same time, other people make nano-coated parts with purpose, which is not to help, but with purpose that, I need money. I need to buy food for my children. I have no job, but I saw on the Facebook, the Knowledge Seekers Workshop, that there is such a thing of nano-coated things, and people don't know how to make it. So I will make a lot of plates and I'll advertise and I'll sell the plates and I'll get money. In that case, what is the intention? The intention is a need, a demand. It will be nothing in that nano-coated material which to be a field which gives. It will be all gravitation, it will just pulling. It will be the fields of the emotion of need, of scarcity. So it will not be helpful.
Yeah.
It's very important what emotion is put inside. It's really very important. You know, when somebody makes food, when somebody cooks the food with love for things to the pleasure of those who will eat that food, that will be so tasty, and it will replenish them, will give them energy and so on. It will be a very tasty food. But if somebody makes the food just because of duty, okay, again, today I have to cook again, and let's put a lot of salt because last time everybody complained that it's not enough salt, so I put more salt, be it enough for you. In that case, how it will be the taste of that food? It will produce burning stomach for all who will taste it, believe me. I'm talking from my life experience. This is nothing invented.
Sometimes if you don't have to give somebody a CO2 patch, sometimes it's just 1 or 2 hours if you listen to somebody who has a disease or something, and they are very thankful just that there is somebody who listens to them. Yeah, that's the essence of everything.
Just give a little love. Or give a cup of water filled with your love. Ganses are very good to teach you about fields, that you understand that there are fields, that fields can create something from something not visible. So from a gas, you create some solid material. Gas is a nano-solid. So you understand the fields do interaction, but how many fields can you create? That's the purpose, to let you understand that you are the source of many kind of fields which you can use. And in one stage, you will go past years, past many months or years of learning and using all kind of things like coils and patches and ganses or whatever. And later you will find out that you don't even need those if you use the fields which you can create. Remember Renan Janelim, who presented how he made the first paint pens. It was just a piece of copper with a little loop on the one end and nano-coated. And he went into supermarket in a crowded place to show it to people and to ask people if somebody has a pain, so he can try to do something to get rid of that pain. And he used very successfully the paint pen to remove pain in people's body, like somebody had a big problem in his shoulders. After a sports accident, he couldn't lift his arm for many years, and suddenly it went away, and so on. And after Renan did that for many hours, many days, finally he found out that he can do the same effect just by using his finger without using the paint pen.
Yeah.
So continue what you are doing it fine. Get your experiments, get your results, share your testimonials for others to be inspired to do the same, and reach a higher level of understanding, and discover what you can do finally.
Yes,
Sometimes,
I will do.
yes, sometimes
Thank
we
you
need.
very much.
You're welcome. Sometimes we need a little gadget to just to give us a little courage to discover what we can do.
Yes.
Like an amulet. What is an amulet? Something which gives you more self-confidence, which you would have had without.
If you believe in it.
But it's you who can do it. You, never forget.
Yeah.
Beautiful, thank you. Thank you, Barbara, for sharing your experiment. And thank you,
You're welcome.
Shando, for replying and
very
giving
much.
advice. Beautiful, thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for your help.
Thanks, Barbara.
You're welcome.
I know we have 2 other people who would like to show something. For one, we have Joseph, who says he would like to show his O2 and H3 box experiments, which did not work the way he was probably hoping for. So he wants to prevent that others do the same mistakes. And then we have Jalal, who wants to show one of his experiments. So, would like to start?
Just one little second. I missed something before when I said about the crocodile clamp. You can put just a penny, a coin, between the crocodile's teeth and the plate, and already you made a smooth surface which doesn't crush the surface. If you have a copper penny, for instance. So this was a little addition. Sorry for interrupting for that.
Thanks for adding this. Thank you. So we'll get our old copper pennies out.
You can also bend the teeth of the crocodile. Also, you can do that. You can bend it to inside that you will have a smooth surface.
Whatever method, if you know the purpose.
Yes.
Not bite into.
Good point, yeah. Thank you for all the good tips and hints there. Thank you. Since we're doing the box experiments, would you like to continue, Joseph, and then we hear from Jalal, if that's all right?
Yes, oh, okay. My name is Joseph Becker. I come from Austria, and I open my video and show you some boxes that have not worked as I wanted to. So I have made tritium boxes. These are the cablings. Here on this side and on this side there is the nano plate, and in the middle is the zinc plate.
Just a second, Joseph. There. Sorry, Libby. Is there a way we can put Joseph full screen?
You can double click on my photo.
I've been trying. That's not working for me.
Yeah, no, there's a way to do it. I found it. It is Spotlight Video. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Is it good for you now, everybody? Yep.
No, I don't have them yet.
Yes.
Oh.
Is that?
Is it? I see it, but if I'm the only one, I did click Spotlight. Willie, can you see it? Okay.
Okay. So I had on the two sides the nano plate, and in the middle I have the zinc plate. It looks like this, and the boxes are running since 6 weeks, and I have this zinc appearing on the zinc plate, this white zinc oxide. And since this zinc oxide appeared, the CO2 production is very low, nearly nothing. And I have no color change in the CH3 here in the bottle. I have made 2 boxes with the CH3 together tritium, and one box is closed, and the other box is opened inside. And here the same. I had a very big CO2 production, unusual for a box like this, because I use every time these PP05 boxes, and I have made it all the same way. So the nano plates are outside at the edges, and the zinc plate is in the middle. And I think because it hasn't worked, I used copper wires that are holding the plates, and they get nano-coated during this process. And the nano-coating layer has some carbon inside. And I think that the carbon on the nano plates have given the fields for the CO2 production. Then the last box I want to show is the O2 box. I thought if I use in the bottle, there are CO2 GANs that I can subtract the carbon fields out of the CO2 gas. And here the same, it went 6 weeks, and I have only in the bottle, what I can't show, 2 or 3 black spots. But it's not enough. Maybe there is a nano coating in there, what I couldn't see. I can't refer that there is any significant change. And here the same, there is this plate, the zinc plate has this zinc oxide coating, this zinc oxide that is like popcorn on the plate. And since then, the CO2 production was has nearly ended. And the little thing I made with coating from some nano material. Here I have used a very high energy coating liquid. It's not focusing right, maybe. And it was a very, the liquid was on 1 liter of water. I had 200 200 grams of sodium hydroxide and 100 grams of potassium hydroxide. And this nano coating was very beautiful black. And as I soaked it in distilled water to get the coating liquid off, I saw that the nano layers are going down. If you take a liquid with more energy in there, with much potassium or sodium, then I saw that the nano layers at the cleaning process, if you soak it in distilled water, the nano layers are pouring off, they getting off, and you have many flakes in the waters. So it's really, to have a good nano coating, you have to find the solution, the combination, the amount of the sodium and or potassium, that it's not too much and not too low. I have experienced. Thank you. Any questions?
Joseph, how long did you cure the plates before you used them?
It was a process about 4 weeks. I used the same solution as for the copper coil I showed, but the only thing I made was a steaming process after that. And so the nano layers got stabilized, I think, because they don't went down at the cleaning process, at the washing with distilled water.
Okay. If you have the patience, see what happens if you cure it for 4 months instead of 4 weeks. And I believe the nano coating will become much, much harder, and it will then not flake off when you make the GANs or put it in a solution. It will turn more like a diamond structure in terms of hardness.
Do you suggest to drain it regularly? So every day or every 2 or 3 days, or only at the end?
Personally, I would drain it as much as possible, because if you only drain it at the end, you're only going to add direction to the last lot of layers that have gone on there, and all the layers underneath that are going to be multi-directional. But if you're draining the plate throughout the entire nano coating process, then all the layers that go on there are all going to be in a uniform directional format.
Thank you.
Also, with can you just go over the details of your what were you trying to make with the first two boxes?
I wanted to make tritium, and I used salt content from 5 to 10%. And yes, I wanted to drain out the copper fields from a CH3, so I get tritium GaNs, I assumed. And I used the copper boxes. I don't know if it's good or bad to use the plastic, because plastics are CH3 bonds.
Yeah.
And
It's going to pull the hydrogen out of the plastic. I mean, if you nano coat the box on the interior, that may well protect it, but I think it would be better to use a glass container and just nano coat that as well on the inside and out. That way, you're minimizing the ability for the box to pull in fields from outside. From what I've understand, using plastic to make deuterium, tritium, or hydrogen is not possible because because the plastic's made of hydrogen, and you just pull the fields from the hydrogen. Glass is a much better option, and also nano coat it.
Yes, I've experienced it. The new boxes are in production. I have already made them. I only wait for the nano-coated plates, and then I can test it, try it, and maybe show it.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Joseph. Does anybody else have any questions for Joseph? Okay. Jalal, did you want to come in? Are you still with us?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Here's Jalal. I am a student in Keshe Foundation, private teaching, and I would like to share with you an experiment we are doing in the private teaching, and this is one of experiment. A lot of experiments goes in the private teaching, and if you not yet is in the private teaching, I will suggest that he's go direct and register to the private teaching. He will learn so many things, and the teaching is beautiful between the student there, because we are sharing knowledge. And I would like to share with you this specific experiment that everyone he can do it, because we all have it, but not aware about it. And we have here also with us in the testimonial so many in private teaching who already succeed with this experiment. And only I would like to ask the guys who knows about the fields in the hand, if they experiment something new. No one? Okay.
Sorry, Jalal, what do you mean with that question now? I might have not gotten it.
There is so many of us who knows about this experiment, about the fields in the hand. This we have already learned it in the private teaching.
Oh, you mean about, there's some people who can actually feel the fields?
Yeah.
And some have to train themselves. Is that what you mean, yeah?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Any feedback from our private student?
I would just add that many of us learned this when we were doing hands-on healing. I think it's called quantum touch, hands for light. So it may not be that new for some people who've done Reiki and other energy work, but it is a wonderful way for people that don't know the power within their hands. Jalal really made that clear to so many people in our class. So maybe, yeah. So,
right. I'm sorry, Liberty, just to cut you off there.
yeah.
Jalal, since we've done that experiment, I now have I can feel something in my hands. Now I thought I thought it was just bad circulation of blood, but I'm beginning to think that it's not, and it's actually the fields, because I'm, you know, what we've, because of doing that experiment, you know, it's always in the back of my mind, and I'm always thinking about you know, my potential and my evolution, and I really don't I don't think it's got anything to do with my blood. I think it's just the fields. But since we've done that experiment, you know, it's always been ticking over in my head. You know, like if I go out and feed the dogs, and then, you know, I'll put my hands either side of their head, and, you know, try and feed them from that. And since I've been doing that, it's not a numbness. It's not pins and needles. It's a feeling, but it's not. It kind of makes. It doesn't make my hands ache. It makes because I can feel it on the. It's like it's on the outside of my hands, right? And it's very different to when when I first started drinking CH3, like last year. I was drinking quite a lot of it, and it made me very, very gravitational, and I was sucking up energy out of anything that had power going to it, anything electronic, and it was creating a really strong pins and needles sensation. It felt like frostbite, but without the pain. This is the, and but it was an interior feeling. Okay, it was underneath my skin. But the feeling that I have now is it's external to the skin, you know, and it's because of your experiment.
Yeah, you brought us great awareness. You reminded those that may have known something about it to remember it. And I'm very grateful. Are you going to show what you're doing, what you did?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. And this is for also Andreas. I saw your CO2 kits, and one was above. If you learn this one, let me go to. Did you see mine? Okay, let me change. Okay.
Just want to check everybody can see this is spotlighted. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If I put two sorts of reactors, let's say this one and this one. After you will experience this feeling, and then you will see in your hand, you will feel it, the fields between these two, and where is the strong fields between the interaction between the fields, and then you can put your third one, whatever you want to make, but for the instruct the fields between the two. What I noticed with the different one is the field is so much powerful in a way which one is above or the sides. So this is up to you to learn how to feel the right feeling. So we will start. Bring your hand to a drop of water. If you have CO2 water, and that is very good because it has more power. But if you not, just bring a drop normal water, and then I will guide you where to look. Where is your fields? How do you feel it? So should I wait for you guys or continue? This is live experiment.
It is a live experiment. So why don't we just give people a few seconds to get any water they might need, or
organzas, or coil.
Yeah.
Or coil. You can bring also anything you want, anything attached to the plasma. But if you don't have, this is the first time you are here, no problem, because this one you have it and you can learn it from your hand. So I will give you 10 seconds.
Sure. And thank you for doing this again, Jalal.
No, thank me. Thank all of us, because we are learn from each other.
Thank we.
Thank we, exactly. This is nice, huh? Like French. Thank we. Okay, start now?
Yep.
Okay. First, Danny, if someone don't know tingling, you can explain in Deutsch.
Ein Kribbeln, ja. Ein Kribbeln.
Yeah.
I think most people will understand. Yeah, go on, Joel.
Okay,
Thanks.
I hope. What I am searching for is the same feeling when you have tingling. That means you have poor blood circulation. Sometimes if you put your hand in some position for a long time and then it's died, and when come back the blood to the hand or your leg, you feel this tingling in your hands or your feet. This field, what I am searching for. So first you go to this field. You try to search for this field in your hand. Don't go to the warm field. Don't go to any other feeling. Go only to this one. And from this one, you can extend your fields. So first thing, you go and put your hand above this drop of water. Just for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, until you feel something tingling in your palm here. If is it direct here. And then slowly you move it. When you feel the tingling, just move your hand above it. Back, forth, left, right, up, down. You will notice something. If you notice this feeling, just grab to this feeling. Don't let it go. Stay in the area where is that this feeling is. And then you try to focus in this feeling. What kind of feel? Go with your fingers. If you can feel it. Go left. If you can see you are changing, there's something change here. If you go with fingers. If you don't notice that, go back from 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, and go up. go up until you feel something. And then go to your hand, because your body is 60, 70, 80 kilo of gases of plasma. So the fields of this particularly fields is there. So you go and search to the same field. If you put hand to hand like this, leave it for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, until you find something tingling here, above, or here, sometimes here or here. There is a tingling here, especially from me, from my body. I feel it in the left hand, but somebody maybe they feel it in the right hand. So put your hand together, and it's better to take it up a little bit. Don't let it in the table. Just put it like this, that you can control the height, back, forth, like this. Open your fingers, close your fingers, join your fingers like this, until you find this kind of field, what I ask you to search for. You will feel the tingling here. When you feel anything, anywhere in your hand, go for it. Expand the gap between your hands. If you can feel something different. If it's cold, you will find there is a levels of coldness. If it's warm, don't go to the warm, because this is different field. Go to the tingling, and you feel some pressure to your hand. If you bring your hand just slowly, you feel something pressure in your hand, like a ball. What do you call this one?
A sphere?
Yeah, sphere. Like you are squeezing this sphere to your hand. This is especially hand to hand. If you go to the water, gas water or normal water, I think there is no difference between them. But the gas water is little bit, you find it, there is a flow, little bit flow in it. And there is tingling. That means there is some shape. If you go to your reactors, just leave it for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, until your hand adjusts to the field. With the practice, you will go in 5 seconds, because you know where you are going to see or to feel. After you put your boxes and you want to take the interaction between the two fields of your boxes for a third one, what I noticed with the other one, That's the fields. It's not here. There is a fields, but nothing here. Absolutely nothing. You see, here is my reactors, and here is my hand. It is this side. Here, there's a field, and very strong fields. There's tickling. Because I am quick in that, because I used to these fields. I know where to look. I know where to feel. Here, this side, there is a fields, but it's not strong as this one here. It's above. Here is very powerful field. Here between the two here, exact here in the middle. Here like this, it's coming out. And you see it. You see this area here. It's about 30 centimeter above. It depends what kind of reactor you have and how strong is it. So for Andreas, if you learn this method, then the third box, what I notice you have above the two boxes, I don't think it is the right place.
Joseph, or?
Not
Andreas. In my room, do you think, or what?
Yeah, where is your 4 buckets in the background there? I notice you have CH3.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
There's one above 2 of boxes. Is that
yeah, that was the food guns.
Okay. Even that. Look, after you learn, what is the boundary of your fields, you can do everything. And it's not stop here. This field, it will not stop here, but here, because I have so much gases and so many reactors, so the interaction of fields is so huge here. But if you, like Barbara, if you learn how to feel the fields, you can go to your one reactor and feel it. Absolutely, is sensation. The fields is so strong. Every item, everything, it have fields. Once you know where to look, you will find it. And then, after you learn how to catch the fields, to go to in this way, and then you go with your, because this fields is come from your emotion. You can only feel it with your emotion. But because we have this feeling in the hands, we can touch with the heat and the frequency of electron. This one you can feel it also, and you can do it with your emotion. You can change the kind of fields between your hands. After you learn, and this is for our guys, I am starting now to see the fields, but you need a black background. If you put your hand like this in an area where is a small light and a dark room, just focus the fields between your hand. Sorry. Don't look here in this area. Look behind it, through it. Don't focus your eyes in this area. Like if you are, let's say, I am focusing to see the fields between my hands. I do not look in this area. I look here. But also I do not focus here. I see the totality. Before my hand, inside my hand, after my hand, all the three. And then I go, where is the change? What is the change in the picture? If you focus little by little, focus in the background black, and then you will see like a small shadow. If you see my hand, you see there is, okay, just like in this. It's the madam. She will kill me. Okay. You see here, when I move my hand, here there is a shadow. You see the shadow? So from the light?
Yes.
Yes.
That is the difference between the black and the shadow black. You will see like this. There is a shimmery shadow. If you are in an area where it's a snow, I saw it also in the snow. Shadowish white. It's the same of this shadow of my hand. But this my hand is a little bit more shadow, more black, but it's transparent. Good. Now she's killing me. Let me answer this one, guys, and I will come to you.
I think what Jalal also is talking about is the periphery. Look at the periphery, use your periphery vision, and you'll see better than if you just focus. Is that how you learned it too, Danny?
I think there are different techniques basically if you want to start seeing the aura around things.
Sorry,
So
Jalal,
there's
go
the
ahead.
white and the black background, and also the feeling of.
And Danny, you remember when you said you changed the position of your hand? Do you remember?
Not sure, no.
Last teaching, when I was teaching about it, you said if you change.
That was me. You put the back of your hand.
Yeah, but who told you that? Danny, I think.
No, it was actually a suggestion from a student, Bastien. What was his first name? Denis Bastien. In the
Denis,
chat. Yeah.
not Danny. Okay.
No.
Also, you can feel it. There is 3 types of feeling in that: tingling, pressure, and flow. The flow especially comes when you have crystals like this, when you have a coil, With the coil, if you have a coil, you will see quickly, you will see the difference. You will see exactly here, there's a flow. It's coming in your hand, like a air, what do you call it? Air pistol in your hand. It's like a hole of flow is coming up. And if you take the coil, and guys, you must wear some protection, but I am used to that. If you put the coil near your hand, because I'm feeling much more in left hand than right hand. If you go like this with the coil, you will feel this one, the barrier of the coil in your hand, like this, it's coming, or this. There is levels, there is lines moving up. How you move the coil. If you have a maggraph, the maggraph is very beautiful. If you have one, just put your hand to it, adjust your hand to the fields where you are looking, what kind of field, and then you will see it. How big is it? How much extend? 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter. And then when you put your new kit or whatever you want to make, you know where exactly to put it. Where is the best area to put your reactor between the reactors? And this is one of so many in the private teaching. But this one, I speak about it because it's already in your hand. This is nothing we brought. We all know it. We all have this feeling, but we didn't know. Like there is a color, it's always there, but nobody told us to catch this color and follow it and extend it and work with it. The same thing, the knowledge is universe knowledge. Mr. Keshe didn't bring something new, but he came to teach us how to find it in us. That's all. The energy, we have it inside. The feeding, we have it inside. Traveling, we have it inside. Health, also we have it inside. But we didn't have the belief and trust in ourselves. Thank you. And if anyone have question.
Thank you, Jalal. Thank you so much for doing it again. And we're going to end it very shortly, but if anybody has any questions for Jalal or comments or suggestions, please do speak up.
Hello, Jalal.
Hello.
Hey, thank you. What you do is new for me, but I have some experience from me. You know, before I go, when I go on the bed, I always put my hand in front of my face. I have feeling of my face have something. I do like you. I push nearer and farther and go on the right or go on the left. I feel like I touch my face.
Yes.
I think it's the same feeling.
Yes, and this is extra. I will tell you. This is your chakras.
Yeah.
And
one more thing.
Yes.
When I close my eyes, I put my hand, I see a shadow of my hand. I close my eye, but I see a shadow of my hand. When I go on the right, I see my hand go on the right.
When you put your head back.
No, when I lie on my bed, I close my eye and I put my hand in front of my face.
Okay, and your head and your head is toward your body or back?
No, I feel that my face on my hand. I have feeling.
Yes, I know. But if you want to see, let me tell you, this is also I am experiment.
Yeah.
If this is your body, this is your head. Let's say this is your head here, and you are sleeping like this. Okay.
Yeah.
If you go, put your head back like this.
Yeah.
As far you can from your stomach.
Yeah.
And then from this angle, let's say, if you close your eyes, if your eyes are closed, like this closed, just see here as if you are closing and you are seeing your nose. You see, you look from this gap and your head is back. You will feel it more. You will see it more. Exactly what you are saying. I'm expecting that, and I am starting to little by little to see it.
No, I say I'm lying on the bed. I close my eye. I put my hand nearer on my face, and I put my hand farther. I see my hand is moving.
Yes, I know.
I see something is little bright, but it's moving.
Like a shadow.
Like shadow. Yeah.
Yes, but in the same position. If this is your head, you are sleeping like this, like normal. You have pillow
on my back.
Yeah, but just put your head back a little bit more than normal.
Yeah.
Like you are sleeping in this age, you know. Sleep in this age. Put your head back.
Okay.
Like this, not like this. Put your head like this.
Yeah.
And start to see if you can see your stomach like this from back of your head, and then close your eyes. The same thing. Close your eyes. You will go there. If this guy Chin, he have practiced it, so he can do it in every shape. But who didn't practice that, he can start with this.
Okay, thank you,
Leave your head back more, and then close your eyes and try to see your hand. Move your hand, move your fingers. Just look. You will not see your hand. You will not see the shadow. Just how I told you, how to see the three together, the totality. And then with 1 minute or 2 minutes, just without any thoughts, without you are going, okay, I will see it. No. Just leave it like this. And then you will notice little by little, there is something difference between the lights.
Yeah.
It's dark, but there is something between the darks. And when you move your hands, you will feel it. But it's the same situation. If you open your eyes in the dark area, move your hands like this, you will feel and you will see the feels between the hand.
What we say, the flux on our hand, the flux.
Yes, let's say the reflex of it. Yes, and Mr. Chen, you can also, if I'm saying this is your body, just bring your hand from top of your head down to your body, down to your heart, to your stomach, to your what do you call it, Danny? Down there.
Reproductive area. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah. The special area, the best one, and you will feel. You can feel them. Which one is stronger? And in the beginning, I noticed this area was strong, but then I noticed the area of the heart is very like this one. There is a flow, very strong one, very strong one. And the area of the head is tingling.
Yeah.
And above the head, there is field above your head. But this one you need more practice. Start with this one. Start with the water, with the reactors, until you capture it and what you call it. You have
experience.
Yeah, experience that you go so forth in 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You go there to this feeling, and then you can expand it. You can also change it to hot area, cold area. You can change it. You can feel it. You can expand it, and then you will go. After a while, you will go to the light, because here there is a light, but we cannot see it because we used to the normal light. We didn't see this. We didn't thought that we have it. There is interaction between your fields. Whatever you know it or you don't know it, your hand have aura, have fields. If it's 1 centimeter or it's 1 millimeter or 10 centimeter or 1 meter, it have fields. When you do like this, now every one of us, if you do like this, there is interaction between the fields. 100% there is, and there is heat and there is a light, but we didn't use to learn that. We didn't use to accepting that there is. This is the difference in this knowledge. In this knowledge, there is. Everything you want, there is. You need to bring it out. It's all inside you. Everything is inside you.
This one we have to practice, and we must with our feeling.
And believe it. And believe it that
yeah, I always believe to myself.
Yes, myself.
Thank you, Jala.
Thank you, Master.
Yes, thank you, Jalal.
Jala,
yeah, go ahead.
May I add 2 things?
Yes, please.
One is a little warning, because I've been quite sensitive in my earlier years, and I know that you have to be prepared. If you work in the direction of becoming more sensitive, you will become more sensitive, and then you have to learn to live with that, because otherwise you cannot sleep in other places, for example, or you always are getting disturbed by everything unless you decide consciously you want to be more sensitive and you learn to work with this. Otherwise, it's a problem.
No, Christian, let me tell you something, please. You are totally right. You are totally right. But there is one thing you can shield yourself. How you can shield yourself? That you love everything. Love everything, every totality. You put your head, whatever there, any creature there, any human there, any insect, they are part of me. They came from me and I came from them. So there's no difference between us. Respect them as you respect yourself. Believe in them as you believe in yourself. Love them as you love yourself. You will see, my friend, you will feel so many beautiful things. And no one ever, ever, ever can hurt you. I saw before 1 week, 2 or 3 days. Let me show you something. This is for all of us, guys. Wait. In our culture, they say every glass shows what is in. And before 3 or 4 days, one of knowledge seekers, who put it? I forget the name. He said, you are drinking your coffee, and came someone behind you, and he disturbed you, so that the water is, the coffee is skipped down from you. And you ask, why you skipped my coffee? He said, if you put the tea inside, it will not be coffee, it will be tea. The meaning here, if you change what is in your cup, you change what is in your cup. What we have in our cup, it's, sorry to say that, all dirt. We have anger, we have needs, we have so many bad things. If this is my cup, if anyone come to me, touch me, or just give me one look, I will skip what I have on him. I will show him what I have inside. Guys, we are learning a beautiful thing. What is the beautiful thing in this? That you are beautiful creature. You came like others from universe. You are not actually only to eat and drink and make family. You have house, you have country, defending my country, die for my country, kill who is coming to my country, kill who want all these dirty things. No. I am here on earth for a purpose. My purpose, as Mr. Keshe said, to serve, not to be served. This is a term. I'm here for a term. If is it 1 day, or is it 200 years? I'm here to learn what is the best thing. And the best thing is give. You cannot give without love. Absolutely, you cannot give without love. Even if you have children and you don't love them, you will not give anything to them. I'm learning, and I put in my head since a long time, every human being, every creature, every entity here on earth is part of me. And if I love my hand, I will not hurt it. I will not cut my finger. And if my hand needs CO2 to make it well, if I have injury here, I will cure it. That's how, and this is the way I see it now. This is the way I am learning, and this is the way I put everything in my head.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, guys.
Very good answer.
Thank you, Dan.
And may I add my second point?
Yes, please.
It was not a warning, this one. It's a help, maybe. If you already told us not to stare at your hands or at some point with your eyes, but if you also just try once, not feel with your fingers and your hand, but Instead, take the point where you would have wings between your shoulder bladders and try to feel from there. Then you can extend the range very much. Do you understand what I mean?
Can you say it again, please?
Try just as an experiment to start feeling from a point in your back between the shoulder bladders.
Okay.
So where you would have your wings that we
Okay.
don't see, that we don't have actually, but
as a wings, you mean?
yes, as if there were wings, and from the point where the wings would be attached to your back.
Okay.
From this point, try to feel through your hands to whatever you are practicing doing.
Okay.
This extends the range very much and the power.
Right. Okay. Beautiful.
You are experienced, so you probably can try immediately and we'll see whether it works.
We will learn. Did you practice it, Christian?
Yes.
And how it feel?
It gives you you are less small then. You are less. You have less borders. You are much more open. Everything can go through you much easier than if you do like this.
You will become more transparent, let's say.
I'm going to just jump in here because we're at our 3.5 hour mark and I know it's getting late in Central European time. I want to thank you, Jalal and Christian and everybody who participated in today's testimonials. It's been a really, really, once again, uplifting experience. I want to thank.
And today was a long, long time.
Oh yes, it wasn't very long, but that's okay. We get energy from where we do, and it's a beautiful place to get it from. Danny, do you want me to do the closeout, or you want to close it out? Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm happy if you close out.
Okay.
Saying thank you to everyone.
I have last request. Can
okay. Yes, Jalal.
Please, next testimonial, give us feedback, please. If we are doing something right, something good, or you can add to this knowledge, because every one of us have something and have level of sense in the fields. Try to teach us, please. Thank you.
Libby?
Yes?
I haven't said anything.
Well, very good, Mr. Chen.
Yeah,
but it's been a...
But for the next testimonial.
Thank you. It's been a...
Mr. Chen, we will go in the...
till midnight if we stay with you, and we like what you have to present, but at this point...
In the reactor group, we can't speak.
Oh, and he's welcome to speak here. He should have jumped in earlier, Mr. Chin. I do apologize for... But we're learning now that, you know, 3.5 hours is a long time for most people who are going to watch this later and or who are sitting up after being on since 4 a.m. And it really, we do have to be conscious of that. So thank you, Mr. Chin. He has it. For those of you who don't know Mr. Chin, he's contributed widely to our knowledge, and I'm grateful for what you have done. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so this is, we're closing up now for the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Public Teaching. This is the 15th public meeting for testimonials on Monday, February 12, 2018. Your hosts have been Flint, Danny, and myself, Elizabeth. Thank you very much, everybody who participated, everybody who attended, and for those who may listen to us later, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, Libby. Thank you, Danny, for the beautiful testimonials.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Elizabeth.
You're so welcome.
But he's gone already.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.